Okay, now it's working.
Okay.
Well, it's saying it's like streaming, but obviously I don't know if it's gonna come up straight away on the Plex. That's the issue.
We don't know. We're in it.
It should.
We're in it through Discord, aren't we? Right. Well, that's on Plex. Yeah, that is, and that is on
Good.
laptop.
Yeah, it's back.
Okay, it's back. Is it cool?
Cool.
All right. Sorry about that for everybody watching. Yeah, my OBS decided to disconnect, so I just had to quickly
And that's
restart
what we saw
it.
out the window.
Level 20, it was amazing.
Okay. Nevaeh,
we get it.
Hold on.
Oh shit.
Hold on. Wait a minute. So can anybody clarify what point we got to before it stopped?
We would not notice.
Shit.
Wasn't it?
Looking
at the
I'll
window.
just do like a very, very quick, like, 10-second recap.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
really quickly, yeah, so everybody was discussing obviously Captain Draw, and the Commander Tallius was going to say something, but then she muttered, like just mouthed the words "get back to the party that's currently in the room with her" to step away from the window that she's currently staring out of.
Oh, she's looking.
Yeah.
Actively. Then I'll look directly.
Okay, so for anybody that like sort of just peeks round the frame of the window, now
I'll look from the shield.
Okay, well the point is anybody that's looking out of the window sees a horrifying image. Marching up the street towards the castle is Captain Madraw and his men. But what horrifies you even more is on a horse in the center of them is what looks to be a captured Bobby.
What?
Although not captured in the sense of like tied up or anything, which he is not. It's more, I think, just outnumbered. As when you last counted how many you slew of his men out of his 100, there was probably about half of them left. There's now, giving a quick count, around about 30 to 35.
Okay.
And
do Nick and Katterina see this at all?
ironically, this is on the other side of the building.
Oh, shit.
This would be the road between the cathedral and the back of the City Watch station. And
Can we see anything?
no, not from your vantage point. And it looks like Bobby is just drained. So it could have been that he did, once they found him, he did defend himself, slaying a few of his men, but the numbers were too much.
Okay. So, how far away are they from where we are situated?
So, like, you're a floor up and they're on the street down. So they are on the street going up towards what you can presume to be, based on just the general direction they're going and the layout of the city, they're heading towards the castle.
Okay.
Where the king would be situated.
This isn't good.
Well, that could be a problem.
Big problem.
Indeed. A very big problem.
I mean, if Bobby were... Sorry, if Robert were...
Wait, hold on, you said Bobby. You know him?
We may have met on the road in our travels.
You
He did not
know
make it immediately apparent
the
who
prince.
he was, but we... the information has come to light, indeed, that our friend Bobby was
We
indeed...
didn't know he was a prince at the time.
Not at first.
Right.
Not exactly like he tried to make it obvious.
Okay.
But now it
And it,
has certainly become clear.
Last I saw him before is he helped out of town. That was about it.
Anybody else? Sorry. Don't know.
Okay, so
No.
before all of you jump to your arms, I wouldn't even bother. You'd probably be slayed before you even knew what happened, especially if Commander Madraut gets his sword out. But I do
wouldn't
have an
dare.
idea.
It wouldn't dare cause us trouble in your city anyway.
But I do have an idea, working from underneath. As I do have suspicions that Captain Madraut and Lady Maria connected in some way. And I'm wondering, is there some, if you will, information that we can dig up through Lady Marie about Captain Madraut? The only problem is we're pressed now insanely for time.
Yeah, but if they're connected in some way, is she gonna tell us?
Well, no, she's probably not going to outright tell you, and that's if you can even
Okay.
get an audience with her.
Okay, but as a fairy elf, if we believe that is what she is, would maybe Nyx be able to talk to her and find out any information?
For a start, who is Nyx?
Mhm.
Obviously not being in the room.
Oh yeah, other side of the building. I was about to say look out the window. No. Nyx is our fairy elf companion.
I mean,
But still, I imagine someone like Lady Marie, just because one is of the same ethnic background,
yeah.
one is of the same racial blood, that does not necessarily make one predisposed to be familiar.
And like I said,
Okay.
she's unlike other elves I have met or are under my command. But
Okay.
I do have a plan. As I do know that some of my men who do patrol around the diadem are, from what I have discerned through trusted sources, are taking bribes. And bribes, ironically, from Lady Marie. But I don't know why.
Hang on, who's taking bribes? Who's taking bribes?
Some of my men,
Oh, watchmen.
Some of your men.
yes. I only have a few to patrol the streets of the diadem, seeing as though the soldiers have almost got on lockdown. But I do have a few to patrol around here, seeing as though obviously the guard station that you're currently in is situated in the diadem.
Okay.
But from, yes, trusted sources, I've heard that, yes, a few of my men who particularly patrol around that area are taking bribes to possibly look over something. What it is, though, I don't know.
So it could fall upon us to perhaps locate these individuals,
Doesn't
Yes.
sound like the area warrants an
extract
investigation.
the information
And,
of what it is that is being covered.
okay, so, one, for a temporary purpose, of course, you would have to be under my command in order to do this. And for that, and given we're pressed for time, I can't give you the full service, but all I need is your word.
I think that should
What's
do
the
fine.
catch?
So we become...
There isn't any catch. The only thing is, I will say to you, is to, if you do find them, just rough them up and don't kill them, otherwise I will have to extend the hand of the law.
Got it.
Rough them up.
Well, certainly not. I mean, we're not I mean, I glance over to Nevaeh. Most of us aren't savages or anything.
What's the fun in that? Come on.
Wow, that's racist.
The slaughter.
And yes,
Come on, don't spoil
And
my
then
fun.
and then she turns to
Oh,
you,
that's easy.
Nevaeh. Tallius turns to you and says, and if I find out any of you have committed a murder, I will have you behind bars, quick and say Udulali.
Tulali? Where's that come from? Come on.
Well, that's hard.
They are at the end of the day, whether they
I'm
are
going to stay out of it then, hasn't I?
at the end of the day, whether they are taking bribes or not, they are still under my command.
Absolutely, disciplining or serving the letter of the law to them that falls under your responsibility.
Exactly.
Well,
No,
knocking
no.
them out is fine.
The names of those that are taking bribes?
I don't know the names in particular. I just know there's a certain patrol that goes around there. Possibly about 4 men. I don't know. It's very little. I know there is a particular 4 men that patrol around there that I've heard from trusted sources that are taking bribes from Lady Marie.
Potential informants. Would it be asking too much to learn the name of your confidential informant?
It is actually people under my command I severely trust. One of them you've already met.
Oh yeah, I can always use the mace on them, can't I?
The
That ain't gonna kill him, is it?
you're referring to the
Might knock him out, it ain't gonna kill
the
him.
individual working out front.
Yes.
I suppose it would be pertinent to know where this patrol is stationed.
Ironically,
note that down.
near Lady Marie's manor. It's a big blue manor, you can't miss it.
Appropriate enough.
What was that?
Big blue manor. You can't miss it. Lady Marie's manor. I've lost my pencil.
And certainly, I trust we will have no problem not, sort of like pointedly gesturing over, just like kind of giving the that little quick wide eye gesture towards Nevaeh. Like, I trust we will have no trouble
Whether you
restraining
talk,
ourselves from.
You know what you can do, don't you?
you? Besides, you can't learn anything from a corpse, can you?
No, that's true. We can't earn
I love
anything from a corpse.
out of character. I love how everyone's just like,
Look, we just
like
the shit out of them with Nessa. Or Tanaway.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure
I
it'll
think
be
they're
fine.
quite the means.
whether
That's
you
all
get it
right.
out of them through talking, roughing them
Oh,
up,
yeah.
I don't care. But this may be the only lead we have. And like I said, given the time that the king is dying, and now Captain Madrot is back with the prince.
That's really
Do you
my
have
bigger concern here.
Any idea what his actual intention is with Sir Robert?
To be honest, I have no idea, but if it's what I'm dreading, then not only will the father, but the son may suffer the same fate.
That is my
And if it-
concern with.
And if it happens in those castle walls, there's nothing anybody can damn well do about it.
Ah,
So
I
what
see.
is the state of Prince
That
Bobby
makes
at the
sense now.
moment?
He just looked really drained, didn't he? Like he was really well, wasn't that?
I was actually wondering why he would be looking for him to return him back, because if it seems that if he and or Lady Marie would be vying for the throne, then having Robert simply disappear would be much more convenient. But I imagine as long as there's doubt, as long as the public had doubt of Robert's survival, if he were simply missing with no proof of his demise, then there could still be disputed claims.
Exactly.
This makes sense now.
Go to the king, Captain Madrot's got to make it like you.
It's really quite straightforward.
Yeah.
But if something happens thereafter,
Yeah.
So, all I need to ask at this point is, will you help me?
Happily.
And then it's settled. And
If
then
nothing
she,
else than to save our friend.
and then,
Sure, I don't
she
like that, man.
pulls out from a drawer. How many people did you come with you that have stayed outside?
Do you need to count our animals as well?
No.
Ah, that has been a practice lately. Okay.
There's about
There
7
are-
of us total.
7 of you? Okay.
Yeah, if we're gonna include Heather, I don't know.
This
Oh,
is,
yeah. Of course, yeah. Heather.
and with that, she pulls out what look to be 7 copper badges.
Oh, we'll get badges. Hey,
Oh, fantastic. I'll hold on to the other 2 and
we're getting
I'll
7
tell them down.
badges.
No, badges. We're going to
Badges.
watchmen.
Of course, yeah, we're watchmen.
Temporary watchmen.
Yeah.
So, I trust that you have the capabilities to get the information that we so direly to seek. I leave this
Yeah,
in
most
your.
likely.
I'm sure we can persuade them.
I'll leave this in your capable hands. Then report back to me once you've learned what you can.
This may be a matter for once we actually have the information, but if public something as strong of a gesture, something as clear cut as public executions with witnesses could not reach the king's ears, do we have hope of convincing him of Captain Madrat's ill doings?
This is why I'm saying we have to dig from underneath.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think we'd have to be very, very convincing, wouldn't we?
Any bit of information we can use.
Once we have the information, we can plan from there. But unless we make a start, this will never come out.
So will these badges give us any particular amount of access around the city? I noticed that there are the soldiers patrolling the diadem are seemingly under the command of Captain Madrat.
Not directly under the command of Captain Madrat, no. Each battalion has its own separate captain, however, the 51st is the highest ranking.
Okay, so I guess the question is, were the soldiers / guards around the city, will they respect the authority of the badge?
They will do to a certain degree. If the case you're about to venture on is settled between watchmen, they will not bat an eyelid. Hence the badges.
Excellent.
Understood.
The last thing we need is any legal interference from
Exactly.
bureaucratic disputes.
Yes. Now, be about your business. I need to get back to... And then she glances around. All of this.
We will leave you to it. You have more than your fair share of work ahead of you.
Yeah.
We will produce all the results we can. I begin to take my leave.
Sorry, what was that?
I begin to take my leave.
Okay. And I'm guessing the rest of the party follows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you all come back downstairs. And obviously, Nyx and Katterina, you finally see them arrive back down the stairs, coming out of the guard station.
Okay.
Katterina, the majority of this time, has been trying to make that tricorn hat, like, sit properly on her head. She keeps looking to Nyx, like, how's this look?
There's no time for that. We have a bit of a problem.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Matters. Bobby has been found and returned home.
That flinch at the sound of that name, the hat just falls off her head and back into her hand. She tucks it into her bag. Bobby?
It gets better, or worse.
I don't like the
Guess-
sound of that.
There's a certain captain who's leading that in the first place.
No, that dick.
Oh yeah.
He has returned.
Oh, shit.
But we do have something. Here. You have this. I hand Nyx and Katterina a badge. We have the blessing and a small amount of authority of the City Watch to pursue a lead regarding a connection between Lady Marie and Captain Madrot.
Oh. Oh.
This may be the sort of information we need in order to expose him before the king. However, he's been able to curry the king's favor with his heavy-handed methods before. We may find some information that can't be dismissed away as his method of enacting the law.
I'm gonna try to say this.
Pocket hood comes all the way up again.
I'm gonna try to say this to make sure, like I don't think anybody is in earshot besides us, but just to make sure extra clear that I'm doing so. I'm gonna say, like, does the captain know what we know about, Bobby?
I have no idea.
Because that's what I'm really concerned about. Because if he's taking advantage of that, that's gonna be a really big issue.
Captain Madrot or Commander Tallius?
Madrot. I mean, do you remember why he left to begin with?
I think there's enough regarding Bobby's station that suits Captain Madrot's plans. He may not know about his
complexion.
I think it's just enough, isn't it, as far as the king's concerned, that he's made it look like, well, that he has brought him back, but then
He's rescued Prince
and
Bobby.
he's brought him back, but what happens now?
Next.
Is he's obviously gonna ulterior
Ulterior
plans for him.
motive.
That's a good point.
Definitely
That's
got an
a good
ulterior motive.
Finding, big air quotes on this one, finding, rescuing Bobby is probably one of the many gestural things that Captain Madrot has done to keep the king in good graces.
Yeah.
He's more Machiavellian than I anticipated.
You've got a good point, Vulen. I imagine he's trying to appease the king rather than do anything particularly heinous. But even so, I feel a little bit uneasy about the whole situation.
I think he's quite a devious fellow.
I think the heinousness. I think his heinous will be gaping in short order.
Oh my god.
Thought we were about to have a serious moment, and someone had to be an asshole.
Just asking
No,
out
no,
curiosity.
I'm out shut.
Just asking out curiosity.
The only asshole I can see in this at the moment is Captain Madrot.
Fair play.
Indeed. It's got high hopes
just-
for Bobby's survival once he is presented before the king.
Just out of curiosity, is anybody going to talk about Lady Marie?
Yeah, I did mention the connection.
Okay. I was just going to say, more importantly, her description.
Oh.
That's a thought.
No, a description.
Right, yeah. But yeah, there's a connection between. There seems to be a connection between Captain Madrot and Lady Marie. We did learn a bit about Lady Marie herself. What we are to do currently is to find out about some guards who are taking bribes, but there is something strange about Lady Marie's behavior. Evidently, she is
Wait, taking bribes? Bribes from who?
from at least the estate of Lady Marie, likely to keep something around their patrol area, which is around her estate,
Great.
under the lid.
I mean, this is a long shot, really, because I know Lady Marie's got like a lot of money, but as in finding out that information, essentially, we could like bribe her if they're taking bribes from her.
Yeah.
Something could I suppose it depends what she's paying them.
That is true. If there is bribery happening,
we're paying them more than we can afford.
Well, that's what I mean. We don't know that, though, do we?
But right, it might not be a matter of money in that case. It might simply be if we have access to the secret. If it is a secret being kept for the sake of Lady Marie, not just for her machinations with the Borakelts. Because that's certainly possible. That it's simply turning a blind eye to the comings and goings of the Borakelts. But if it isn't a bit of information regarding Lady Marie herself, that could be a glaring weakness, and that would give us
Yeah,
that
I mean,
amount of power.
could
So
it-
far, all we know about her is
could
that
the information
apparently she is a
information
fairy elf.
the connection between her and Captain Madraw.
This is what we
He's
will have to
human,
find
isn't
out.
he?
Yeah, it was a quick fun of how she was described.
Okay, so Captain Madraw is human, yeah?
Has Tallius looked at me?
Hold on, everybody's speaking at once. I didn't get any of that.
Oof.
Sorry, I just asked, like, to our characters, is Captain Madraw human?
You don't know.
Oh,
They
no.
Does he appear human?
Okay.
Does he appear human?
Looks fairly human.
Good enough for me.
I
Good
mean,
enough for
we were a
me.
little distracted being arrested by him the last time we saw him.
Do they have like colored skin or?
What else could he be?
It's a bit more
Um,
He's human, but
she's it's a little on the. I mean, it could be just to journeying out and everything. He was a little tanned.
Okay.
Sound weathered. Very George Harrison.
So he's not neon green, so at least we know that much. Okay.
Fair.
Harrison?
And
Oh.
were you,
Harris.
Slappy? Were you starting on a description of Lady Marie?
Yeah, I especially kind of like gesture to Nyx. Wait, is it easy to tell when someone's a fairy elf versus other?
Yeah, fairy elves. The one biggest description, the difference between most other elves is their insane hair colors. Mostly, deriving from nature itself. So that imagine all the different
yes.
colors of flowers and stuff like that and plants. Hence
And she
why
had-
Nyx has purple. What was it? Purple, blue, and green hair.
Yeah.
And Marie has the totally out there hair color of silver.
Oh, it's silver, is it?
Oh, didn't you catch her?
No, I didn't.
Yes, all we know about Lady Marie so far is that this maybe perhaps interest to you, Nyx, that she is a fairy elf. But evidently she's rather diminutive. She is 5'3", has silver hair. But most strikingly, to my imagination, is that she never leaves. She never leaves her home. She simply remains at her harp.
Place.
Yeah, but no, how's she managing to do what she's
Katterina, make me an intelligence check.
See what she's doing.
Sorry, me.
No, Katterina.
Oh, sorry.
You guys can't help but notice that Katterina has not moved.
Intelligence check, please.
Oh shit.
If she's not leaving her,
That's a total of 13.
she's not leaving her home. How the hell is she managing?
No, wait,
Like
sorry, 11.
Yep.
Like a tidal wave of memories hit you all at once. Envision if this. It's almost if it can't be possible. If the description matches somebody very close to you, then it's almost like they're two different people. But yet, you can't help get that itch of it can't be the same person. It just can't be. But there's that little itch in the back of your head that's telling you why her?
She has not moved. She's not even pulling the hood down any further. The corner of the tricorn hat is still kind of clutched in her hand, but she may as well be a statue wrapped in green fabric.
Oh.
Hello.
Stone cutting.
The other thing that hits your memories is you get that envision of Twin Peaks again. Two spired mountains with a town nestled in between them. But the name still slips your mind of this little town on top of this great mountain. But you have
Is
this.
Katterina voicing this? Or just.
No, this is in her head currently. And you
With
just
your
have...
hood with your hood up, is there any way any of us might notice your expression?
Considering how short she is, the only people that can probably see anything above her nose are going to be Vendrak and Tsurara.
Okay.
If you wish to
And you
roll
being
insight checks.
statuesque like that, it might be a little unusual, but probably wouldn't catch my interest.
I will definitely roll the insight check.
My attention.
Jesus.
Damn it! I wanted to make an insight check, but no, I have no cause.
All due respect.
It's the one thing I'm really, really good at, but we'll see if that actually matters. Oh, God. Here we go. Oh. Modified 20.
Oh, shite.
So, Katterina, what can they glean from your face currently?
I'm good with stone, so if you have a stone face.
It is a very stone face, but her expression is completely neutral. Her face, she may as well be a painting at this point. It's not moving, nothing. This is all internal, but you're starting to see tears.
You've seen the sweaty eyeballs.
It's warm.
Hey, you alright?
Nothing. No response.
I'll put a hand on the shoulder. Like a... Hey, easy now. Easy.
What do you want?
For you to be okay. That's
Kind of as a reflex, she swats him with the hat and stuffs it into her bag. So are we Are we siding with Tallius, or are we siding with the guild?
I think time is short at the moment.
And then she waves the badge like into Vulen's face. Or did you guys make the choice for us?
Well, time is short. Decisions must be made, but it is, if you imagine faster results from the criminals in the hive, I would certainly hear the case. Otherwise, I think we must begin to act with the authority presented to us.
Okay.
You guys swear you can hear the lump she swallows. It is so large.
So we're going with the city.
We're going
watch.
with the city watch. By the looks of it.
At this point, it's between the group. It's
And
almost.
I think at seeing that small outburst, Vulen takes notice of Katterina's hair color. He's like,
Can I attempt to try and talk to Katterina?
Go
I
ahead.
don't know, half
You can
out.
certainly try.
I'm not in control of this right now. This is all you.
Like seeing how Katterina is. So see, I approach Katterina. So sorry to put this to see if did Katterina, if you would talk to me.
What do you want, Nix?
That was rather abrupt.
To sit, yeah. Well, obviously, for you to be okay to talk to me, you might feel better, and I might be able to help.
Nix? I'm fine.
I don't think you are, but okay. If you don't,
Please leave it at that.
Okay.
For now.
Okay. But yeah, I'm here if you want to talk to me.
And that's all you get.
That's all you get. Rather abrupt, Katterina.
She's not in a happy place.
No,
The cloak is still, to you guys, like covering from the nose up, but this low green hood turns to you, Nevaeh, and you swear you can feel a little heat coming from underneath it. It's like, no.
well, this may bear more discussion in the future. as I mentioned, time is rather short. I fear
you
for
for
the very life of our dear friend Bobby. I say that in the interest of time, and honestly, I take out the toll scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I say,
let's go with City Watch because of Bobby.
I think the difference between this and this, I hold up the badge and the scroll. I say the difference in execution between this and this, I think suggests we should probably go with Tallius.
Yeah,
I think so.
I
too.
agree.
What, right.
Look.
Why not?
Whatever solves this the quickest.
Well, that's
Seems
it,
like it would.
isn't it?
All right. I need to remind you. I don't think we mentioned it yet. We're allowed to rough them up, but we're not allowed to kill them.
Oh,
Guards are
bollocks.
guards. Paid off or not.
Just in case anyone's bloodlust is
Okay, so
insatiable. Keep that in mind.
Some of you flash back to very early on in the adventure. 3 kobolds on a bridge, a second level magic missile, and would anyone else like to negotiate?
Oh, I'm glad Rara doesn't remember this because she would be mortified.
Every match was ended up something getting freaking demolished.
This may take a lighter touch than some of our previous encounters.
okay.
Rara, to paraphrase, Katterina has a real way with convincing people.
Hmm. Rara hides behind her tail.
Yeah, and the bandit kidnappers as well.
Especially at convincing people to not be alive.
Rara,
It's
Rara
great.
just like hides behind all of her tail.
I may be able to use Tanaway to help to do some
Convincing
as well. Yeah.
He'll help.
Okay.
Talon and Nessa make for quite the backup crew.
Come
Well-
on, we've got 2 big animals we can make use
Yeah,
of.
might give him a bit of a long leash.
It was, but well, we were told that we cannot miss Lady Marie's estate. And if we look, can we see like above or through any of the
Actually,
buildings?
you don't need to like look because you actually already passed it.
So we know the blue roofed building.
It's no, the entire property is blue.
Properties blue. Oh, like the
manor itself, yeah.
lawn and everything.
No. The building is
Okay.
blue. Yeah.
Okay, I get that Kentucky bluegrass.
Big blue building.
Yeah, it's just a bit huge manor that is just blue. Like it's roofing, it's how the walls are painted, even like it's the wooden structure that you would see on the outside that's just all blue.
Okay.
Quick question. How long would it take us to get there?
5 minutes.
Okay. Hey, Katterina, I don't know how you feel, but I have a feeling you're gonna want to take out some of your anger. I'm gonna give you this ring, and I'm going to cast Warding Bond on it.
Whoa. Whoa.
You're gonna have to stay near me, though. Not that near, but 60 feet-ish.
And you watch as she slips it onto her left index finger
Mm.
and just gives you a really solemn nod.
All right. I guess we might as well head out.
Okay. Anybody disagreeing with this or doing anything else?
I'll mention.
Is this towards the Sorry, is this towards the diadem where the?
You're in the diadem.
Oh,
Towards Marie's
okay. Is this
Marie's
for,
manor.
for Well, we don't know who the 4 men are, do
No, we
But
don't.
4
We've
men
got
in
to find them.
the patrol in the diamond.
Yeah, we've got.
Chateau du Marie.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'll mention. Well, I know we are hard to miss. Maybe the animals stay back a block or two as we approach the manor and look for the city watchman.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. But
So we don't make too much of a
away
scene
on a
for
long
Leash.
leash. You'll have at least
the-
got
the
hold
Yeah.
of
board.
them.
Yeah.
Yes, nothing spreads like gossip, and the board
No.
the board nobles of the diadem are
Yeah.
sure to be full of it.
Okay.
Actually, that could be a good point. Maybe we could ask the neighbors if anything suspicious.
Yeah.
Because if I've encountered anything in heavily striated societies such as this city, pettiness among the bourgeoisie is, particularly the petty bourgeoisie, is abundant.
Yeah, so, yeah, they're not going to be talking about each other. And
We might not have time for that, though. We might have to take the more direct approach.
Okay.
Or shall we go and simply look for the patrols? Keep the animals on low profile for the time being. Fuck it. I'm gonna send Esker.
All right. So
I'm gonna send Esker to fly over to Lady Marie's and do a fly around. I
Okay.
can't link to him. I can't see through Esker's eyes, but for 100 feet. How far would you say? You said like 5 minutes.
yeah,
Little 5-minute walk.
yeah.
What do you imagine? That's probably like 100 yards.
Give or take, yeah.
So, yeah,
And that's
I'll
okay.
send him to do a fly around and then sort of report back to me.
Okay. So send him flying around to, where Lady Marie's manor is. A minute or two later, Esker comes back, and Esker speaks to you telepathically, doesn't he? And he actually says, yes, there is 4 guards who aren't exactly patrolling. They're sort of lazily talking amongst themselves.
They're smoking and joking. They're all together then.
Yeah.
All right. And that was all in the mind. So I pat him on the head and say, Esker here informs me that the guards are all together, talking amongst themselves. We were informed by Commander Tallius that there were 4 potential guards who were taking bribes. If we have them all at once, we could subject them to maybe the prisoner's dilemma, or simply they're all on the take, and that will probably be revealed in short order. But I imagine them being together, we can simply approach them now, shall we?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good idea. I do think, though, if we're going to have to try and persuade them, as such, to talk to us, I don't. Right, what's the plan with that? I personally think she's, well, if nothing else works, use Tanaway. If
Yeah.
they're going to be quite fearful, but that can be a
Yeah,
last.
we
that
can
be
use
last
fear as a
resort,
last
possibly.
resort, couldn't we?
They're very effective, yes.
Katterina reaches into one of the pouches, like on her trousers, and she pulls out this beaten to hell dark red kerchief, and she ties it around the bottom half of her face,
Nice.
like covering nose to chin.
So it's just hood and red.
Yep, straight up like outlaw mask in a druid robe. Oh, that's right. That, as lewd as this sounds, nobody really knows what she's wearing like underneath the cloak and robes. She's not a frilly girl, I'll tell you that much.
No, indeed. Not a
Yeah, sorry for the derail there.
not a
Fine.
lady like gremlin. So if we are, are we proceeding?
Okay.
We approach that.
You just get a forest green nod.
Alright,
Alright.
so you basically almost walk back around the corner.
So
toward-
as we walk, I slip behind Katterina actually,
Okay.
and
Oh.
use my medallion and cast Detect Thoughts.
Well, Katterina, what's surface level?
Are you just going for surface level, or are you
Yeah,
gonna try?
surface level.
Okay.
Oh, starts with surface.
Um.
I wanted to do it now while it's possibly still fresh in Katterina's mind.
There's a lot of swearing, but you notice all of it is completely in Elvish.
Mhm.
That's really the only coherent thing you can get out of there is just a lot of elven cursing.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Just
looking
just expletives, as in just outburst expletives.
Pretty much like shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. That's not fucking possible.
Okay.
Fucking
Not
damn.
like one of those like, how could you fucking do this?
Profanity,
How could you be like this? Fuck that bitch or anything like that.
It's
Let's go.
her brain has essentially devolved into rated R static
Okay.
because she's
That-
having a
that's
very
great.
difficult time comprehending what the fuck is happening, even though she probably knows full well what is happening.
So basically, if you were to watch like a old Looney Tunes cartoon with Yosemite Sam cursing Bugs Bunny out, but only with actual expletives, right? Something like that.
It's just
That's
the
like
string.
this is all it is.
Imagine like a 50 caliber Gatling gun that shoots Elvish expletives,
Okay.
and someone fell asleep squeezing the trigger.
Oh god.
Do they make 50 caliber Gatling guns? That's a
I was
tangent.
a crew chief on the A10, so that sound is actually quite familiar to me.
Oh, that's right. Shit. Okay, so you definitely understand what is going on inside her head right now. It's like 30 drum solos and fast forwards, and they're all variations of fuck.
Okay.
I released the medallion. I'm like, oh, okay. That was a lot. Just mentally think, oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So once you've done your mind probing, you basically wander back around the corner, and yeah, on the distance, it's not too hard to. Oh bloody hell! That made me
Oh,
jump.
double.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, cool. Thank you.
That made me jump a lot actually. But yeah, on the distance,
Now you know how I felt every time I got a freaking thing.
All right. Point well made. But yeah, on the distance, you do see what Eska saw. There's two guys basically in the middle, just sort of almost it seems to be wandering about in a circle, just talking to themselves. And then the other two guards, one's leaning on a rock, and the other one's like sat at a bench.
Okay. That was on charge.
Can't see what that says properly.
So one's just going in a circle talking to himself?
No. Two in like wandering in a circle, talking to each other.
So
Oh, okay.
all of us saying thank you.
Just loitering, basically.
Basically, yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
I guess they're out of earshot.
Wow, shit! Earshot from you being able to hear them, or them being able to hear you.
Yes.
Either one. I mean,
Yeah, you
inclusive
can't.
four.
Yeah, you can't hear what the two in the middle are talking about.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm a linguist. I can read their lips.
How cunning are you?
Wow.
Quite.
Okay. So
Yeah,
So we can't hear what they're saying. We're too far away at this point, yeah?
but I would like to look and see if I can read their lips from where I am.
it's a bit haphazard because obviously because they keep going in a circle, you keep like missing parts of it.
Mhm.
But what you are able to scramble together is it's something bear not repeating because apparently they do make various trips to the hive on their off time. In
Mhm.
particular to the Lamb and Flag
Mm-hmm.
with
So I
some
pick
extra
up, I pick up
coin.
little bits where they're describing conquests.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Conquest I have to pay for, but you know. Conquest nonetheless.
So we literally just pick up that they
You just pick up tidbits, basically.
they're going back and forth to the Lamb and Flag, and
Yeah.
Tidbits indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can Nevaeh use beast sense?
something like
With
that.
rats.
To listen what they wrote, what they're saying, actually hear it all.
So
I mean, I'll certainly let you all know, what I picked up there. I was like, oh, apparently they've been, from what I can see, what they're talking about. Apparently they've been to the hive and the Lamb and Flag, spending, I imagine, not city watch salary money.
So quite many.
So
Yeah.
it's multiple of them. I think
Yeah.
at least those two who are talking are on the take.
so it's really how do you want to proceed from here?
Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that it was said to everybody. But yeah, you're doing something about beast sense?
How much does that beast sense reach out to?
It's touch.
It's what? It's touch.
It's touch.
So yeah, can't use it
So
unless you.
you've got to be able to touch a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna
Or
work.
something that's.
Okay.
Something tells me that they're not going to be too happy if you're just going up there and touching them.
Not with my. Not with my
They're gonna
bloody
run away.
size.
They're probably going to run away before you get to them.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, not that I ever freaking use this, but I do have plus get the tricks if you really want to try to sneak up on them.
Is there anything you've got?
Oh, wooden bond, cool. Oh wow. Oh, Vendrak.
What?
I was looking at warding bond.
Yeah.
I know!
Mhm.
I'm fucking shook, dude!
It took me forever to save up for that damn thing, and then I made like 10 times the cost of it in one shot.
What a good boy.
Oh my God, I've got my cloak of elven kind. Can I get really close to them? Like literally, like with.
Dunno.
Right, like,
Try it, I
near me.
suppose.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
You
really
could
sorry to interrupt
You're
you.
it, listen in, couldn't you?
It's just, are we gonna learn that much more? Really, I don't know.
From what you'll gather, they're talking about. You're not gonna get the information you seek. Put it that way.
Okay.
Okay. That's fine.
Without being forthright, to
Yeah.
to ask like what we want.
Need a
to know,
shapeshifter.
and then being persuaded to do
Yes.
I have a way of locking at least one of them down, as long as it succeeds, of course.
Okay.
Vendrak is a dwarf of many talents, but he can't concentrate right now. He needs to use the little dwarves room.
I also have a way
God.
of causing chaos
I was like,
among them.
Yeah.
However, it may end up with one or more of them dead. Not at our hands, but I don't wish to muck around with the technicalities of did we kill someone. And besides, I don't really wish to see life taken as a result
I
of.
think Captain Tallius would see it as
as
us
Italian,
killing him.
Yeah, I think.
Indeed.
I think she would, yeah.
Indeed. In fact, I believe you've all seen the ability that I have, the spell that I use to cause somebody to perceive everyone as enemies
Yeah.
that are hostile to him. That could cause chaos among them and allow us to approach before they subdue him. But again, he will see them as life-threatening enemies and will try to kill them.
So, right, they are being bribed to overlook something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Something that's going on.
Yeah.
So, so we need to find out what that something is. don't
We do.
It's,
We
Not to.
If we can
Sorry,
be
go
sure
on.
to not kill anyone, I believe we have more than enough muscle, more than enough power at our disposal
Yeah.
to subdue. But should we run in? I don't know if we should run in all swinging. We may be able to simply have words. What information do we have that we could use against them? What would strike immediate importance in their mind? Simply that we're onto them could be one thing.
Yeah, but then they're going to want to know how we know what they're up to.
no, could we not? I don't know. Maybe come across to them, almost like make out like we're
We
kind
want
of as
to be-
corrupt as they are.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
kind of see us as allies and not enemies.
We do have these
Right.
coupons. We do have these toll scrolls that could suggest that we frequently
Oh, the
visit the
good-
hive.
right, yes. Yes, that's a good idea. Because if we know that they go back and forth as well, we pick that up. So
Yeah.
We could open with that. Violence is always a fallback option. It's worth trying to take the more subtle approach.
we can always fall back on them other options if that doesn't
Yeah,
work. But we
that's
might
it,
as well try
isn't
that
it?
first.
Yeah, the trouble is, how are
How
we
do we
going to...
approach them in the first place?
Yeah,
to
how
say
do
that
we approach
know
them? And how do we
what they've
convince
been
them that
doing?
we're just as bent as they are?
Well,
If we've been
pressing business always makes for strange bedfellows.
Mm-hmm.
We could simply present to them that we have
Don't want to know who you're better.
we have an inquiry
No, if we've all been kind
from
of
the hive,
um,
or
hive,
we
yeah.
have information about the patrician. If they are on the take with Lady Marie, they may be on the same level as the Boracouts.
Mm-hmm. And
We
if
may-
we know what they've been doing,
we can-
like,
we could perhaps-
it'll be gossiped and talked about, wouldn't it? With like say to a
Indeed.
point in the lamb flag and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
true.
we could have like heard about them
Overheard them,
in that
yeah.
way, and that could be how we
True,
approach them.
true.
I'd be willing to take a stab at this.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Does anyone feel comfortable coming with me? That they
Could
can.
you
They can put
what
up
what is the current plan? I'm sorry, I had to.
I'm going to try and apply some information from the guards on the take by providing them with new information, supposedly new information about maybe weaknesses of the Thieves Guild, of the patrician. I think I'll try to ask knowingly if there's any change in Lady Marie's status, in hopes that they will let something slip. Otherwise,
Unfortunately, I can't get too far away from
Should I cover
Katterina right now.
Because of obviously I've got keen senses, haven't I?
And yeah, being lower profile would make a lot more sense than swaggering up with the direwolf and an owlbear. So perhaps Nyx and myself.
Yeah.
Low profile as in what?
As in not
Well, if out the larger beasties, you know.
not 7 people and 2 giant animals.
So I can pass the
After all, if we are supposedly on the take, we don't
Stand away from me.
Yeah.
make ourselves conspicuous.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So myself and Vulen could approach them.
Yes,
Just
that's
like we
fine.
said.
Yeah, that's
Obviously, I'm
fine.
quite.
Yeah.
In fact, Nevaeh, I think it would be
Okay.
worth having you with us as well, considering you actually do have connection with Lady Marie, although you are in her debt. But that is still to suggest that you work for her, right? Suggest to somebody who might know you or see you that you work for her.
True, because you are acquainted with Lady Marie, but
I am,
purely because
yes.
of that.
But then that is why I wouldn't go.
You think that?
I would stay back in her, keep hold of Tanaway so you can go.
Why you?
That works.
Oh right, because of the debt, she
Yes.
doesn't view you favourably.
No.
So okay, right. Okay.
That it could be useful though if anyone is aware of your debt. That would make them feel like they have a one-up on you, so they would be more comfortable. It would put them less on the defensive.
Yeah, possibly. True. Yes.
And again, like I said, it then they would at least know there is a connection as well.
Yeah.
So it's
between
not
me
like
and
you're-
Lady
yeah,
Marie.
Yeah, exactly. You're not
Yeah.
suddenly
True.
like coming up to them and like a nobody who is this kind
Yeah.
of thing. There would be that. Yeah.
Yeah, because
that
they're going to know
connection.
my name.
And that might put them at a little bit more of an ease to actually say something.
Speak,
Let them
yeah.
slip. Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
So right. So is that what's that? The 3 of us.
Does that sound good to everyone?
That's cool.
Sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
I will leave Esker with you, Vendrak. If things start to go south, he will pack you. That would be your sign to come in swinging.
You can take
What an alarm. All right.
Take the old tan away from me.
I think the giant animals should probably remain here as well,
Yeah.
around the corner.
Okay.
So I've got Tanaway on a long leash to make sure, in case they like to run off. I need somebody to hold on to him.
Katterina, you with Nessa? Maybe making friends with Tanaway?
What's Katterina's response? Not
Oh,
fucking like that.
no, she's not saying.
Okay.
But
Maybe.
stay
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, so the 3 of you are approaching.
Yeah.
Alright, so you
Sort of giving a casual swagger.
Okay.
It's like I own the place, like I belong here.
Alright, so obviously it doesn't take them long to notice your presence, but at first they don't seem to really bat an eyelid at you. It's just like whatever sort of thing.
Would Nevaeh
Hello there, fellow crooked cops.
just look at my face because of
No.
Probably not, no.
I don't think do the fighting and that the hype of all the bounty hunter. I just wondered, would would she or not?
No, probably not.
No, okay.
So yeah, so it's at this point it's like, how do you speak to them?
Just stroll up casually. Like almost look like I'm gonna walk past him. Like I'm kind of like not looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
Then I slow my pace.
Yep.
And I just kind of look over the shoulder. You know, in a way, just I imagine the way at least Vulen imagines somebody trying to look out to see that anybody's watching without making it evident.
Okay.
Just sort of looks past, then like looks over his shoulder and says, "Staying vigilant for her ladyship as always, I trust."
Excuse me.
I mind you keeping. Not I mind. I trust you're keeping things under wraps for the lady here.
Yes, we're doing our patrols as usual, thank you. You a new recruit? And he looks at the badge.
Oh, I didn't put the badge on. The badge is in
Oh.
my. It's in my cloak.
Okay.
I have it with me. Like if
Alright,
questioned by
forget
the guard,
that. Forget that last line then.
Yeah.
Should we do that though? I think that's possibly a good idea.
What's
Doesn't that kind of not endear us to them, but it kind of makes
It puts us on the same.
level.
But yeah, I didn't put it on, but yeah, as I say, I trust you keeping everything under wraps for her ladyship, and I do sort of like with the 2 fingers reach into my cloak pocket and just sort of like slide it out and then put it back in.
Yes, we are keeping patrols as usual.
That's always good to hear. I may have some interesting information for you. I know you haven't seen us before. My name is Nevaeh. I've just come up here. I've actually got some interesting information from the hive that may be of interest to the lady, but it may help make your job a little bit easier. Seems that there are some cracks in the patricians' security.
And see, actually, something I should have clarified. Are you walking up to the 2 in the street or one of the ones to the side?
The 2 who I noticed were talking about getting some fuck.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so 2.
Some No, Vulen.
Okay. And so the 2 sort of look at each other a side glance, and it's like and then it's like the one leans in a bit closer with a more of a hush voice. It's like, you form a boar cult.
I am.
Well, in that case then, if you need to go see her ladyship, then you go on right ahead. We'll stay out of your reach.
Very much appreciated. Has there been any change in her status?
Well, no, she barely leaves her manor. I mean, we know you guys need access without being seen as such, so we just keep, if you will, half an eye on this particular road.
What? Speakers a little more. Actually, not coming in a little quiet for me.
Sorry.
I will turn up.
Yes.
Turn you up there.
Just need you to repeat what I said.
It said that they've got ownership over half of the road or something.
No,
Like
it's just like they just got half an eye on the road, sort of like hinting at the fact that hinting at what you might expect, that they're sort of keeping their gaze away from people who are Boracouts. And from the way he spoke about you going to see Lady Marie, it's like that must be that must be the reason.
That's I was about to say that. Like, I can make an insight check to see if there's anything deeper than that.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, to see if that's pretty much the crux of the information that's being bribed for. Let's see. Good insight. Yes, pretty good. 19.
Yeah, so it's like, he's being very forthcoming. He's trying desperately to try and not outright say it, but just tying certain bits together of what he said. You pretty much gather that they've been bribed to not pay attention to boar cults coming particularly to Lady Marie's manor.
So that's why she doesn't need to leave, because they just come to her.
Okay. So they're not stopped. You know, make sure the boar cows aren't stopped or harassed or just hindered in any way. Okay. Has the guard, the soldiers around here, have the guard been getting more dense lately? I mean, more dense in number. Obviously, they're quite dense themselves. Have they been getting more dense in number lately? It seems like the streets are a bit more crowded. Have they been making it difficult to allow us entry?
Watch what you're saying. I mean, the soldiers may be dense, I'll agree with you on that, but unlike us, they're well armed. Look,
That is something to worry about.
Look, when it comes to the soldiers, don't worry about them. They're more caring of the fact of if how to put it, if any of the nobles come to harm. They don't particularly care about us or any of the boar celts that come on through here. We're the only ones that are supposed to be watching out. You know, Commander Tallius putting her foot down and whatnot. But yeah, so just keep that to yourself.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. That makes things more convenient. But they're not.
So they're just watching out.
They're not necessarily on the. No, I'll do a little side glance on the payroll.
No.
So they would still give me trouble if they were to get wise.
Well, yeah, of course they would.
Okay.
Don't be daft.
Things change all the time with the way coin changes hands, so you can't be too sure. Did you hear? The captain has returned. That might make things more exciting around here, so that can.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That can hinder business.
I'm sure her ladyship will be pleased.
So they're still getting on well. I know he can be a nightmare.
Well, to be honest, I'm not surprised. You know, if you hear the rumors, apparently it's her son.
That is a juicy bit of information. Oh, if only the nobles had any wind of that would just spread, I'm sure.
And then it's like, if you believe the gossip, but I really don't. There's even a little tidbit that. There's even a little tidbit that after the Queen died, well, let's put it this way, the lady snuck into where the Queen used to be next to the King, but that's highly unlikely.
She's already got quite the inn, if that were the case.
Oh, yeah.
Or she's received quite the inn.
Oh, yeah, she's in part of the ins and outs, yeah, I'll say that much. Is a mage currently dying inside?
On about 35,000 different levels.
I do my best, fake, laugh.
Yeah.
It's just rude, isn't it?
Oh.
Anyway.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway.
How old Lady Marie is?
Oh, well, elven. Could be hundreds of years old. I don't bloody know.
Eh? Yeah.
We are blessed as such.
In which case, Job probably will be a son. Yeah, but we don't know her age, do we? No. That's what we're asking. And he doesn't know definitely. And how old the captain was wrong. Oh, yeah. Do we know how old Captain Major is?
You have no idea. Maybe hazard a guess based on his looks. Somewhere between the age of 20 to 30.
Captain Major between 20 and 30.
Does seem like quite the arrangement.
Anyway,
If
look,
it's true, then it's going to be.
you go do your
She's gonna
stuff.
be 40-50.
Leave us to our stuff, like,
Surely.
Yeah,
obviously.
of course. Let's not draw
If-
too much attention, of course.
Yeah, because also if you stick around here too long, people are gonna get wise. So push off.
All right, I'll be sure to come back. Lady Marie always makes me nervous, but still have to do my job. But I'll be sure to come back a little bit later to be less conspicuous.
All right, whatever. Go on.
No, I'll step away from him. I'll say loudly. Okay, thanks for the directions. You said it's just down the road there, just a little bit. Okay.
Yeah,
thanks, appreciate it.
yeah. Can't miss it.
And I walk down the street the opposite way from where I came, and then, say, "Come along, ladies," and just march down the street and walk around the block and rejoin.
Do you like turn to look back at them at all?
Sure. Yeah. Just.
It's just like, and it's like as you say, come on, ladies. It's like you just see the one like just give you a wink.
I was actually going to say I actually turn around and wink at them.
Just give him
Just the strongest wink you've ever seen.
It creates a minor
Makes
sonic
a sound. Then I rejoin the friend.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
that
was-
turns out to be true,
Yeah.
that was much easier than I anticipated.
If it turns out to be true.
Thankfully.
we need to have proof.
but
good.
that makes that makes for quite a powerful combination. If she can get
Yeah.
her put in the door to the throne as such,
Yeah.
and he is in some
And if
sort of
it,
position
if
of
he
power.
is her son, who's the father?
Mm.
That would be a very good question. That would be somewhere we would need to probe harder. I think we're back at the group at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We
yeah,
definitely,
we didn't explain. So
definitely
explain.
need more information before we can go forward.
But that,
Indeed, we can't operate on this alone.
Yeah.
So
This may call for a bit of.
Because would that be information that the hive would be interested in?
I don't know though, but who? Because it is.
Yes.
No, it's
Yes, it would be. But that's worth keeping in our pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Leverage.
if you remember one slight problem though. If you remember when you were talking to Patrician.
Yeah, he's like, if you're gonna go with Tallius, don't come back. But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, I know that. But
What that means? Don't come back to the patrician, not to the hive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I was just wondering
don't-
on what sort of
Or something.
yeah.
Yeah. How? Yeah. If we can't go back to the patrician, how would we use that information
to get it
in
to
the hive?
him.
Yeah, we couldn't, could we?
Yeah, that
Well,
could be leveraged. could be-
eventually.
One or the other yet, have we?
But for right now, at the very least, for right now, that information is very powerful for hopefully thwarting a menace.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
But we need to, yes, we do need more proof. Oh,
Turn about Heather though.
yes, we've far more easily than
Heather.
I had dreaded. We were able to acquire the information. Rumors, apparently, but it seems that with the bribery
the
and
patrician.
with everything, the rumors, with the supposed connection, I feel it may be true that that Captain Madrot is the son of Lady Marie.
Who's the son of who? Marie?
Yes, Lady Marie is the mother, is ostensibly the mother of Captain Madrot.
And how's Katterina reacting at this point?
She may as well be made of granite.
Shocked and disgusted.
Do I apply twice my
Because-
proficiency?
Obviously, this is only in Katterina's head, so obviously try not to metagame this, but you are now in... You're almost to the point of fire that you would almost make yourself feel infernal. Because if it is true, what you believe, well, then that means you could be related to the person you most despise.
Oh. Nessa.
No.
Fuck off. Oh yeah, she's I can't really see it. She's got that kind of toxic masculinity. I'm fine underneath a hood and a red kerchief. You literally cannot see her face if you're taller than she is. But in her brain, she is vomiting profusely.
There's lots of betrayal running through your head.
There's a lot of things running through her head right now, dude.
Right. However, that amounts to rumors alone, as it is. So we would need something more substantial. We would need...
We
The
would
most concrete
need...
thing would be some sort of birth record. Something
like a
that maybe
certificate?
a certificate, yes, something that's kept in a family safe. Because if indeed they are related, and it is currently being kept under wraps. Oh, there's also a bit of information a bit of rumor. It's more salacious, so I don't hold as much stock to it as, not to the letter at least, but that Lady Marie is supposed to have found her way into, shall we say, the queen's side of the bed.
Ooh.
So that would amount to an end to the royal legacy. And at that point, were that to be the case, were the king to suddenly, as it has been gradual, but were the king to take a turn for the worse, power would then go to the queen.
Or
If this is all true, then that means that Madrat's a right bastard, isn't he?
well, that's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
If that's
That is the letter indeed, yes.
place when the queen died, and Captain Madrat is her son, is he like what bastard heir to the throne?
Yeah.
So
but okay,
why
we
it would be in his benefit to get rid of Bobby?
Yeah, we've got the rumor of Madrat being Lady Maria's son. Do we know who his father possibly
But
could be?
that's what we mean.
No idea.
We
would need more information.
King.
Could it be the king, and that's why he needs to get rid of Prince Bobby?
Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I
Well,
said.
Robert is already heir to the king. Robert himself is by blood, so he already has the strongest claim.
Okay.
Unless,
So, regardless of,
what happens,
it seems unlikely it would be the king. It seems unlikely that Lady Marie would have to suddenly work her way into his favor, or have his favor worked into her. I can't resist.
I don't know though, but if obviously big if he was the king's son, she would have obviously worked her favour in quite a long time ago. Obviously,
Definitely. Come on.
But
She slept with him.
Would the more urgency have come about now because the king has obviously become ill and he's dying? So now she knows that his reign's coming to an end, and that's kind of what is.
Yeah.
I think we certainly can't rule out. It seems likely. Actually, did we actually hear from Bobby when the king started falling ill?
I don't think we did.
No, you never, because the thing is...
So he never said anything about the king becoming ill?
No.
I think he left before the king became ill, right?
That suggests to me, exactly.
Yeah.
the king wasn't ill when he left.
Okay.
Exactly. I think Bobby's
So
fugue was an inciting incident. That was the moment that Marie and Madrot decided to pull the trigger on their machinations. I think the king falling ill is no coincidence. The king falling ill after Bobby leaves is no coincidence.
No, actually, no. I agree.
But and of course, Madrot went to seek out Bobby after he conveniently left. That gave them the window to perhaps poison, perhaps through some means, cause the king to fall ill.
Yes.
But then the gesture of going and finding Bobby
Yeah, because that's what. Yeah.
ingratiated Captain Madrot further.
Gesture, isn't it? Making it like look like he's gone and done what the king wanted.
yeah.
Obviously, he went
Yeah,
away.
but the trouble is, we know
the window to make the king
so I mean,
ill.
we know how treacherous Captain McDraw can be,
Exactly.
and Lady Marie.
And so now,
my dudes. Silver is not feeling well, so she is going to depart for the evening.
Yeah, I've just seen it.
I have.
Oh, okay, Silver.
Okay.
Hope you feel better.
Don't you worry about a thing.
So if this plan is to come to full fruition, they would want to make sure that Captain Madrot maintains rightful lineage. They would have to have some sort of documentation proving that he is son to who would then be the queen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think something like that must exist.
Yeah.
She must have something. There must be
There's
something
got
we
to
don't
be
know about.
something that we don't know.
Because yeah.
And the trouble is, we've got to find out, because that gives us ammunition.
There's got to be, if Bobby disappears, there has got to be some legitimate claim on the throne.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
Treacherous though they may be, they do still seem to be operating with the power granted to them by public authority. So they would need that bureaucratic proof.
Yeah.
They would need something legal, something substantial.
Yeah.
I think something like that must exist, and it must exist on the premises of Lady Marie.
Yeah, that she has.
Yeah,
definitely.
Should we have an inn? These badges.
But the more information we can get, the better for us.
Yes.
We don't need those stinking badges.
Can you imagine though that what it's
The guards on patrol, the guards on the tape, they will let us by. They will allow us entry.
But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to cause
really hard.
I say perhaps we convene somewhere and set upon a plan. In fact, as long as we make sure we aren't tailed, we could report our findings so far to Commander Tallius. And then inform the commander if, at least my thinking, if you all are party to it, is that we infiltrate the estate and look for such documentation.
Yeah, definitely, because we need to get Prince Bobby.
Yeah, and also, and find out what is going on, if there is like documentation or proof. But also, before that, let Commander Tallius know what's going on, because the initial thing was to find out.
Yes, that's
the
true.
way they were being bribed, what they were overlooking, what was going on. We know that now.
Yeah.
For all the broadcasts to come in and go in, and to kind of let that go on, really.
Yeah.
And obviously, some extra information to go with it.
Yeah, but is that
rumor? We know it's rumor.
But is it? Point. Do we need to let Commander Tallius know about the rumored bit of information?
I think that
Madrot is.
I think that's valuable. Yes, I think it's valuable to let Tallius know.
Yeah. I do, because like we don't know that Commander Tallius is only telling us what she's telling us.
Yeah,
If we are then forthcoming with everything that we know
true.
at this point,
True.
there might be actually more that
Something that she can
that
tell us
she
that
then
can help
might
us.
say, and yeah.
Reciprocity.
Okay.
And indeed, being the captain of the City Watch, maybe has access to documentation libraries.
True. But then,
Should I be able to help us find out the truth? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, she could.
because she is the commander, isn't she?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I only go so far, but it is some more than none.
Mm-hmm.
That may help us.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then we'll tell her.
Yeah, I think we should.
We'll give her all the information we have acquired.
And also, if we do indeed plan to do a bit of home invasion, it would be good to have that preemptively blessed, as it were.
Yeah.
So the captain may either wash her hands of it, or sanctify it somehow.
Yeah. That's
So
fine.
that we don't have to simply rely on those 4 schmucks over there doing their dirty jobs and keeping the soldiers, the army guard off of our back.
Well, one way or another, we're gonna have to face this.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Holy shit. Can I do an insight check to see if I noticed the gravity of that? that could have gone way just right over my head, but
Just like essentially a mental dexterity check.
yeah, right? Yeah.
Sure,
Can I
go
make an
ahead.
insight check on that?
I'm gonna make this interesting. Katterina, set a DC.
Set a DC. Whew.
Also,
do some
don't be cruel.
No.
Don't be cruel.
Okay. I'm gonna make this reasonable because she's a fucking statue right now, but she's starting to crack. You have a DC 15.
Oh. 19.
Well, Katterina.
How do you want to proceed?
So I guess I noticed the gravity. I noticed you're basically saying that to yourself.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Nice catch, Vulen.
Thanks, Vulen. Does Vulen clap himself on the ass?
Yeah, I'll just lay my hand on Katterina's shoulder and say, "Indeed."
You can feel her eyes through the green hood. It's not a lot of anger this time, but fuck. That's you don't need to read surface thoughts to hear that.
Shall we then? We proceed back to the
Watch station.
Back to the watch station, yeah. And that'll be a place to sort of plan a bit of burglary. I mean, we have an inn. We do have an inn already. They're gonna let us through. I don't know about all of us. I don't know about the animals. But yeah. Vulen had mentioned to you some point in that conversation. I think I said it, but yeah, the guards will let us pass because I showed the badge and implied that we are part of the. I told them. They asked and I said yes. If we were part of the party.
Okay, so you head back to the watch station. You inform the dwarf at the reception, who you now find out is a sergeant. Sergeant Barian Stoneaxe.
Is it Barian?
Barian, which is kind of odd for a female name.
B-A?
Mm-hmm.
R?
Correct.
B-A-H? B-A Brevis. Yeah, B-A-R-I?
Actually, to tell you the full truth, I wouldn't know how it's spelled. I just know the how it's pronounced.
Okay.
Fair play.
Barian.
Are you trying to insult my proud dwarven culture?
What do you think sounds right, Vendrak? Bariann?
Stonehouse.
Axe. Stone axe.
Sorry, Bariann?
Yeah. What do you think? Does that sound right?
Yeah, Barian Blood Axe. Not Stone Axe, sorry.
B-A-R-I-A-N.
Oh, it don't matter.
Oh, no,
Katterina is going to grab Heather,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to say, "Can you stay out here with Nessa this time? I need to go in."
Yeah, sure. She's actually taken because, like instinctively, you're actually almost like because I'd imagine the way you've grabbed her is sort of like by the arms.
Yeah.
At the sides and
like hands on her elbows, kind of almost.
Yeah,
pleading.
and it's like she's looking. You then realize you're holding her a bit too tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like there's a wince.
Sorry, Heather. Sorry.
Yeah,
Also,
sure.
Did I not go in
Probably be
this
spelled with a Y instead of an I.
Because I didn't go in last time, did I? But also just for the fact that I was one of the people that went.
Yeah.
Like, one of
I mean,
the best.
It's Y's anyway, but like I's are more of like an E,
Oh,
like a
bloody-
like if you're going like body, you know, that's an I at the end.
And then Heather sort of speaks up.
Right.
Look, if you've got some way of just quelling your beast, I'll look after both of them. But because I guess this is more needing.
Okay, if Heather's going to look after both of them, and I'll give Tanaway something more to eat and keep him quiet for a little bit.
Make a animal handling check.
Oh, me.
Animal handling check.
Yeah.
Right,
Try
hang
not
on
to
a
get
second.
fucking
Animal
babies.
handling is okay. So
Critical fail.
9.
9. So, you feed him, but you're not sure if that's gonna detain him for long.
Okay.
Okay, so I might have to be.
So you
Quick.
might have to either
I
be
might-
very, very quick or feed him some bloody more.
I think I'll have to be quick when I go in there.
Okay, so
No, I guess before I head inside, I would like to ask Heather. Heather, how are you feeling about all this? This seems like it might hit a little close to home with you as well.
at this point, everything with Tachikolis and everything that's happened so far, like the best way I can put it is I just want to step away from all this. This isn't for me, if I'm fully honest. Like, this is, quite honestly, it's beyond me. Like, you would...
Overwhelming.
Yeah. And so
Certainly we can.
Sorry, go
We
on.
can pursue this. We can. I don't. Were it me, or were it a number of my students, even many of my elven students have the fire of youth in them, where they would wish revenge. They would wish revenge on Matrot. They would wish revenge on Marie for enabling this, for the destruction of the town. It can be consuming. Revenge can be valid. Revenge can be certainly valid, but it can also be every bit as consuming as the flames that took your town.
But that's the ironic thing is that I'm not looking for revenge. I mean, I'll be honest, apart from my father, I didn't have much with that town. That was really the only, and the person who did end up doing that, we've, already dealt with. Like, don't get me wrong, like, what Majorot did is very, very bad and quite honestly evil. But I'm not exactly equipped to deal with him like the rest of you are.
Okay.
I think you have a lot of strength in you. Strength of sword arm, but personal strength. And honestly, I think your lack of consumption of the notion of revenge, I've seen it occasionally. take very bright students away. Tragedy befalls many of us, but I've seen it cause some people to stray from their path. If you are able to keep your solidarity, that is an admirable strength of personality, a strength of will. You have my utmost respect for that. I feel that you could very well strike out on your own adventures if you were to seek as much. But making a clean break is perhaps the best thing that can be done. Making a clean break from Tetracolis, a clean break from the town and the tragedies that befell you there.
More than likely, yeah.
As long as you can grow from this.
No,
Then
only
you will
time
move
will
on.
tell.
I was always most concerned with finding you a place to live. This place a bit more permanent, perhaps.
Well, that actually might be easier said than done. But I did. But, well, I know you spent most of the time together, Vulen, but I did have a side conversation with Lucy.
Oh, yes?
And, well, once this is all, blown over, might end up working for her.
That would be fantastic. If you have interest in seeking knowledge in books, if you have interest in knowledge in books, that's the perfect way. Interest in growing. Oh, I'm already excited for you.
I mean, if I'm fully honest, I'd just be doing it for the coin to start with.
And certainly, gainful employment is always a fantastic start for stability.
Well,
It's very good to hear.
But yeah, like I said, once this is all blown over, maybe I'll go down that path.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Anyway,
Okay,
you
this all works out well.
You lot get on. It's like you've got more pressing matters than my life. Go on.
Absolutely. Good luck with the wolf.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Sorry, can I, that character, I literally just have to say this. I did something really stupid. When I had to make my animal handling check, do you know what I did?
What?
I was literally looking, so I'm down there looking at my character sheet, and and I'm actually looking at Tanaway's character sheet. Where I actually
The wolf's not very good at animal handling.
for myself, and I'm looking at his, not mine. I can't believe I did that.
Whatever.
Stupid.
Well, that's an honest mistake.
So what's your modifier?
But hey ho.
So what's your modifier for animal handling?
Animal handling +6.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and wasn't even looking at it.
They're probably like what, like a 14?
Yeah, would have been 14.
Like that.
That's fine. It just seemed like, you're just a little bit more off than usual. Like, you just kind of...
Yeah.
No point in rewinding that far back.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I just noticed.
Yeah, it's alright.
Stupid.
So, now...
I mean, the crit fail. But
yeah.
But yeah, with this one, I think the animal handling is more like, it's more like, is something gonna pop off after we go inside?
Yeah.
So it's good to know. It's good to know that it's a little better.
So, obviously, apart from Heather, the rest of you get led once again up the steps by Sergeant Stoneaxe.
Katterina is going to whisper to Vulen in Elvish, I'm not here to talk. I just need to confirm something for myself and listen.
I understand.
And back to silence.
Alright. So, make your way in. Again, it's like, because realistically, it's actually only been about 10 minutes since you were last here.
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly.
It shows how efficient we
Passed
are
around for a long time.
at getting a job done.
It's like, and she and Commander Tallius actually says, "Well, you were quick."
Oh, we'll get around to it eventually. No, I kid.
Audacity is amazing.
I'd
There's
watch
so
your
many
words.
I ain't going there.
I'd watch your words, Eon Elf.
I'm joking, of course. No, we already have some very pertinent information, and I've begun to formulate a plan for further. I ingratiated myself with the guards in question by suggesting that I was also on the take and a member of the Boer Celts.
Okay.
I have cause to believe that they were being quite upfront. It's easy to read. Corrupt individuals like that who they spend their ill-gotten coin getting laid in the hive, so it makes sense that they're quite is sincere the right word?
Well, I don't know if it's sincere, but I do know 4 watchmen that won't be any longer on the payroll, put it that way. The official payroll.
Maybe more job opportunities down there.
So they're getting sacked.
But they
Four watchmen. No.
have provided me with certain information. I don't believe that this. I don't imagine this is information that is widespread, but there's suggestion that it seems. What's the right word I'm looking for? God damn it.
Can I maybe say though?
Credible, seemingly credible suggestion that Captain Madrot is the son of Lady Marie.
Well, makes sense.
And I think that there are cogs turning.
So were their inclinations to start with?
Well, the fact of the matter is, it would make sense that Captain Madrot is supposedly Lady Marie's son.
No, get it right, the bastard son.
Whatever you may call it, but nevertheless, it's given the age of Captain Madrot and how long ago Lady Marie turned up. But
2 years ago.
Did she turn up with the baby in tow?
yeah,
I think the strongest thing that this gives us,
It's not that,
that
it's a
the
bit
strongest
beyond
case
my-
this would help us make is if there were any documentation of yes, her arrival. Did she arrive with child? I guess it wouldn't if it was 20 years. You say?
yeah. Well, the thing is I only know about this through former commanders. I wasn't exactly, I wasn't even sergeant back then.
So she may have already been pregnant when she turned up?
No, I think perhaps, especially given his, if that is the case, he would be a half elf, by appearances, because he appeared to be human enough. But he may have been, yeah. There may be some subtle elven features to him.
Yeah.
Which would make his appearance. He looked a little well traveled for a human. He looked a bit road hardened.
Well, I mean, given
I would suggest. What does anybody know? Nevaeh, do you know human lineage? Would you say maybe 90? Is that about right? No, not that old. 40, 50? Is that right? Humans live to be 120. No.
Humans, no.
100 roughly? Is that right?
Eh?
I get this mixed up a lot.
Is it a little bit, it's less than that, isn't it?
well, speaking on behalf of my species, typically we can get very lucky if we get to about 100, but it's more around the 90 area.
Yeah.
All right, then I'd say he's middle-aged appearing. Were he human, he would probably be roughly 45, 50.
Yeah, because that's what I am.
But if he is half-elf, looking like that, he could be older than I am. I mean, I am pure-blood elf myself, but
But it doesn't necessarily mean he is
aging.
True. If he's half elf.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
would certainly be older
so-
than Katterina here.
before you wind yourselves down a rabbit hole that you may kick yourselves for, obviously my description of Captain Madrot wasn't the best. He looked young.
Oh.
And just
But tanned.
yes.
So it's like young but calloused.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this might still be okay in Vulen's like reckoning, because he's not, he doesn't keep track very well of the longevity.
So what, maybe 40 to 50?
And the thing is, with half elves, I mean, Katterina would divulge the information, maybe not at this certain particular time, but with half elves, they actually mature around the same age as humans. They just live longer.
Okay.
And then the aging tapers off like drastically in the adult years.
So he could.
Katterina herself, she is 20 on the nose.
Like looking?
No, like 20 years, 20
She
laps.
is 20 years old. Okay. Oh man.
Exactly.
Yeah, Vulen has no idea.
So if he were to be a half elf, it wouldn't. If he looked 20 to 30, he could actually be that, being a half elf.
Could be.
You could actually be
it would be mysterious.
older,
Or he could be older, yeah.
but appearing
Yeah,
as that. Because if they mature at the same, but then, like I say, the aging kind of tapers off.
Indeed. Nix and I, being pureblood elves, like we in general age very slowly. But a half elf, from what I understand, they just still look young. I don't know necessarily about their for how long they look like children.
It obviously wouldn't be the same as obviously Vulen and I, but there's still gonna be some sort of longevity.
Oh god, yeah.
So
Definitely.
that suggests that this could go back a lot farther. This could go back a lot farther than the 20 years that she arrived.
Yeah. So.
But nevertheless, if we have records of her influx into the city and taking up residence here,
Okay.
that would be of immense help.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
I think
We need to
our
know.
strongest case would be if we can prove their familial connection.
well, I can certainly dig around in records, but
Thank you.
I will say this. Nobles tend to keep their relationships very secretive. So don't blame me if I can't find any record of it. At least from what I can get my hands on.
How
Yeah.
very dead. No, again, I kid. We need levity these dark days. No, I certainly wouldn't blame you at all for that. Any assistance that can be provided is absolutely helpful to what we're after here. I think we have started to plant the seeds of a plan, though it will have to germinate rapidly, as I think we should move on it tonight, of infiltrating Lady Marie's manor and seeking out documentation.
Could I just make a quick point to Commander Tallius?
Mm-hmm.
If you were to fire, as it were, the three,
Four.
four watchmen, I'm just wondering, would that then kind of shut off a possible source of information? Would it not
True.
be better to just keep them on for the time?
Essentially, unwilling or unwitting CIs.
Yeah.
Well, I never said I was going to fire them straight away. They were going to get quite kicking in themselves probably first, but yes,
then
that is
they
a good
know,
point.
don't
Maybe-
they know if there is some sort of retribution,
But
they know that somebody has come back
And told
told that, told you things, and that would be a little bit of a coincidence.
Yeah.
They've just met somebody, that's people they didn't know before.
But take this from somebody who's been a commander of the City Watch for the last 5 years. I get the thing of infiltrating and that, but gonna be honest, how do you actually expect to do that? I think as your group is rushing into this a bit too basically, you're rushing into this about too fast.
We do have bits of information that I think would be useful to Lady Marie, but ultimately harmless in the grand scheme that we could deliver.
Yeah.
But I do have some good
That would
news.
appreciate us with her. At least give us cause to be there, without raising too much suspicion, putting us in too much danger.
Yeah.
I do have some
but-
good news, though, before you continue on.
Yes.
Talking of infiltration, you could take the place of the Borkouts. From what my sources do tell me, is that a group of Borkouts end up going there, from what I can remember, and then she drags over a file. Yes, that's it. Every Friday, on a weekly basis.
What's today?
Today is Thursday.
Oh. We have one day.
So we
Good to
could
know.
So,
Yeah.
my plan
might
would
not
be, if I was in your shoes, was to take the place of the Borkouts that were going to turn up.
The scheduled ones, so it wouldn't be
Yeah.
irregular.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
It makes me somewhat nervous
Yeah.
to have another day.
So,
Now that we've seen Bobby's been taken. Sorry, Sir Robert has been taken. But
I understand that obviously there is time in our hands, but at the same time, we can't run into this foolishly.
it
No.
would cause more danger to cause a scene by acting
Exactly,
out.
and then you're out of my protection, because when it comes to the nobles, that's when the soldiers get involved, and then you're walking right into Commander Madrot's hands.
Okay.
So if the soldiers get hold of you, that means he does, and then we've all lost.
And he knows us.
Exactly.
we run into
So how long do you think it will be if you get captured before your heads are on spikes on the walls of Dulldawn?
Not long at all.
I start counting on my fingers and I say, "Oh, sorry, rhetorical."
10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, basically, if you can intercept the group before they actually get to the manor, and then take their place,
So
that
we-
might give you a free ticket inside.
Fantastic. I think that will work just fine if we have the information. I do have other aspects.
aware of who they are, who those Borkouts are.
Well, that's the hard bit.
So we've got to find out.
Well, it's not that you've got to find out, it's just you have to be in the right place at the right time. Doesn't matter actually who they are.
And
We've
does it
just got
matter
to...
how we take them out?
We have encountered Borkouts before.
Yes, what I'm worried about is several dead bodies turning up on the city streets from out of
Right.
nowhere.
That was going to be a question of, do you have any compunction towards
Look,
Corporal?
Right, if their bodies aren't left out in the street.
I'm kind of concerned where you're going with this.
We have a wolf,
Yeah. Have we walked?
A very
Hello.
good wolf.
and an owlbear outside.
Yes, I've
Maybe
seen...
you haven't been introduced. They're quite lovely, but at least the
Put
direwolf
it
is-
this way. As long as you don't leave your mess on my streets, fine.
Corporal measures have the blessing of the law. Understood.
But the
Very-
point is, the main... If you take them out, if you gag them, whatever, and throw them into the river, I don't care. The point is, what has to happen is, under all circumstances, you need to be able to take their place and get in. The only thing I can't say for certain is...
Very happy.
The only thing I can't say for certain is what's going to happen while you're in there. Because the problem is if something breaks out while you're in there, you're only going to have a certain amount of time to get out before the soldiers get there.
Of course.
Okay.
I think, to be
The
honest,
best we can do is to act as if it is business as usual.
Of course.
yeah.
But I have some workings. Would I be able, before tomorrow, would I be able to see, in fact, Vendrak, this may be of use to you as well. Would we be able to see examples of official documentation
Alright.
of birth records? It can be anyone, as long as that's fine. As long as you don't have any issues of us being privy
Fine.
to information.
Just
Seeing
so
examples
Just
of
so
a birth certificate.
Just so
or-
happens I have mine right here.
That's handy. I would like to
Secrets.
study it as closely as I can.
Yeah.
See what a birth certificate, a birth record, looks like.
Yeah.
Um.
Of course
So
I'll do this.
the birth records. Most births are obviously overseen by a midwife of some kind. And normally this, due to the city's, how would you put this? Worship as a whole. This would be basically if you were a nun of Mithras.
A nun.
That also, yes, acts as a midwife. So basically, it's
like your wise woman come midwife kind of.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
and so, but well, it's not necessarily that they help in the procedure. It's more that it's in terms of the birth record. In terms of birth record, it has to be overseen. It's almost like you have a witness.
Okay, so they're the ones that would have. Well, you would think would
The
have a
information
record
we
of
need.
birth.
Yeah.
But
Possibly.
in it, obviously, yes. In this case, like where you see Commander Tallius's birth record, it's not exactly going to be hard to forge if
Jaws birth record.
Indeed.
Tallius is.
as it is, it's all written down. There's no kind of like if you were print like a template. From what you can gather from this, yeah.
Okay.
And it is signed by the mother and like I said the witness essentially.
And is that then the only copy what the nuns have, or does the mother have something herself?
It depends. Commander Tallius says sometimes it's literally sways back and forth on who keeps the actual record.
Okay.
Most of the time, it is the mother who keeps the record, but in
Okay.
some circumstances, the nuns will take the record.
Okay. Would the father's name be in the records?
Well, she said it's quite possible, but given how I was born, there was no father. But well, no father there at the time. So yes, it's very likely that the father's name might be on it.
Okay.
But
The thing is, I think if Lady Marie has got it, that's good because that's her absolute trump card.
Oh,
So
yeah,
That is
definitely.
going to be
It will be, yeah,
Really,
definitely.
really hard to get hold of.
Yeah, definitely.
well, obviously yes. If you're looking over it in terms of like, say forging it, it wouldn't be very hard because of the fact it's
wouldn't
all
be
written.
hard to forget.
It
No,
would be.
because no, it wouldn't be hard to forge it because of the fact it's just all written down on a piece of parchment.
Yeah, but surely the writing would be in the same.
Well, no, because it would depend on obviously the nun or slash midwife that they get.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but if we're going on the theory that this is true, we wouldn't even be looking at the idea of a forgery anyway.
No, that's
Whatever
true.
she's got
Yeah.
it would be real, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
you
I said,
assume
that-
so.
Yeah, and like I said, that would be kind of if her plan is what we think it might
Yeah.
be, then like I said, that is her trump card. That is
Definitely.
That shows capture sort of legitimacy
To the throne.
so that it's going to be, well, she's going to have that so well hidden, heavily guarded, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll be insane,
Yeah.
I think, if that is the case.
Now, obviously, unless there is anything else, we have our plan. The best thing the rest of you can do is go to wherever your dwellings may be within the city at this point and rest easy for the night, because the hard work starts tomorrow.
Do we know where the Borgels will be arriving? So we may in fact...
I know of a few
reconnoiter.
exits. I know of a few exits that they do have within the diadem, which is more than likely going to be the ones they'll use.
Okay.
The ones, so there's more than one.
There's more than one exit, yes.
So, oh god, this could be, because we get
Do
the
have the
wrong.
manpower to cover multiple.
Because we've got a really small
If
window,
necessary.
haven't we?
But if they're as dumb as I think they are, they'll use the one that's closest.
Okay.
And, well, as far as my sources tell me, that is one literally just down the street from Lady Marie's dwellings.
Very convenient.
Okay.
You'll notice, obviously, as usual, if you said you did come up from the hive, that every single one of those exits has 2 guards at the bottom and 2 guards at the top.
Okay.
So they're quite easy to spot. Well, at least from my watch, they're hard to get into, though.
Right, so I missed that last bit. So there's what? There'll be 2 guards.
Yeah.
Like where?
2 one end, 2 the other.
Basically, so you know when you
What guard?
Each send.
So you had 2 guards when you went into the abandoned building, the abandoned church in the hive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and paid them, and then you came up into a small room, and then there was 2 guards outside that door.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
So-
that kind of setup.
Yeah.
But on the road. Okay. Okay, sorry. 2 guards.
2 guards, supposedly under the payroll of the patrician, who does not appreciate the Borgels in his small kingdom. So I can imagine the guards up top could be persuaded
Wait.
to look the other way.
Hang on, whose
You kn-
guards are we talking about here? City watch guards or soldier guards? Or
No.
Yeah, were the patrician's guards dressed as City Watch?
No.
No, they had the little pin, right? The thieves' guild pin.
I think the ones on top didn't have anything.
No.
They never-
they
they were-
didn't.
The ones on the bottom did.
Yeah, they were just chilling.
Yeah. And then she catches what you just said. It's like, wait a minute. By that, would I be wrong in saying you've actually spoken to the patrician?
You would not be. We had to work our way out of the hive somehow. Apparently, they have quite the sinister racket going on, where once you're in, you can't leave.
Oh yes, I do know about that.
We had to do our best. In fact, that's how we encountered the Borgels before. As soon as we arrived, we saw them kicking the tar out of my friend's mentor here, who had fallen under the ill circumstance of being stuck in the hive.
Yes, many people get stuck there, that's the only problem.
That allowed us an audience with the patrician to help work our way out of there and not get stuck ourselves without having to pay exorbitant costs. In fact, I have something for you, and I give her the toll scroll. Say this may come in handy if it
Thank
will allow
you.
you some sort of entrance. Maybe plainclothes city watchman could perhaps use something like this for credential.
Yes, I could possibly get my men slowly in there. but it would be slowly, as you can easily imagine. All of the exits are up basically ladders, because obviously they have to go from the bottom up to top side, so it would be very slowly.
Hopefully this should be some sort of help. Well, I do have respect for the form of order he keeps down there. It is still exploitative.
Nevertheless,
better some form of order than something chaotic like the Boracels, something that is just anarchists, each serving their own interests.
Well, I go by the hand of the law, simple as. And what obviously the patrician does is not the law. Nevertheless, that is a conversation for another time. All I am saying to you now is, rest easy for tonight, and we will hopefully end this tomorrow. And that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Yeah. Huh. Woo!
That was good.
Oh man, that was a good one.
Oh, no.
I was into that.
I'm glad you enjoyed that.
That was really good.
So obviously, before we go off, just to chill a little bit. If you haven't joined our Discord and you're currently watching, just scroll down below. You'll find a Facebook button. Just hit that, and yeah, you'll be straight to our Discord. But yeah, apart from that, I really hope everybody enjoyed watching tonight.
Woo! Muchly enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed it tonight. Oh,
yeah. So, with that, guys, we will see you as usual next week, 9 PM GMT, 4 PM EST. So, hope to see you all again next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Hooray!
The path has been chosen, it seems.
As such
Yeah,
tonight.
we're all muted.
Yeah. That was cool. I really enjoyed that tonight.
How many owl bears does this party have? Because I feel like they're all on my chest.
Sure.
I'm real owl bear.
The owlbear equivalent of a cat lady.